First Watch with Sheriff Mark Daniels on KWCD Bisbee Sierra Vista, hosted by Public Information Officers Carol Kappas and Grady Butler. First Watch is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
And welcome to your Friday. I'm Grady Butler. With me is Carol Kappas and Sheriff Mark Daniels. Good morning.
Good morning, Cochise County.
Welcome back, and good morning.
Let's start with Teacher of the Year. That sounds like fun.
It was. Let me just tell you, Jackie Clay, her team, Cynthia, they do an amazing job of putting that Teacher of the Year award. And I had the honor, along with Garrison Commander Colonel Mike Childs, to MC it. So we had a good time. And the biggest thing was who was taller, Colonel Childs or I, and obviously I was, no doubt about it. I also made a comment about being young too, but that didn't go over well with the teachers. They're too educated. But long story short is, it was a great event, and all our educators that were there, it was packed. These are teachers from all over the county that have been nominated and selected, and they're all winners, even the ones that weren't there that night. But 3 of them were the category winners from elementary, junior high, and high school. Natalie Wise, Shanika Matthias, and Emily Hines. And Emily was when we were living in a different house, was our neighbor. And she was on the bus stop with my kids. And now to see her as teacher, nominee of the year for high school. So she was out of ALA school. But either way, they were the 3, and the winner this year was Shanika Matthias from Carmichael Elementary School. So congratulations to her. Congratulations to all our nominees and all the winners. They're all winners. But so it was a great event. Thank you, Jackie. Thanks to your team for putting this together. And they call it the heartbeat of education, because they truly are very passionate about helping our young ones succeed.
And it's a really good time because it was Teacher Appreciation Week this week.
Yes.
And also a couple other appreciations. So it's Nurses Appreciation Week.
Got to give a shout out to the nurses. I mean, if you go to a doctor's office, a hospital, you're going to spend the majority of your time with the nurse. They're the welcoming. They're the ones that send you back off. They're the ones that give you the hugs. I mean, so thanks to all our nurses out there working in all sorts of medical facilities and care facilities around the county and beyond. So, and a big shout out to my wife, Nikki. She's a registered nurse, and thank you, Nikki. Love you.
Thank God you were saying that. I thought you were going to miss that.
No, I had that. That was the conclusion. That was
Okay,
the conclusion
good.
thought there,
All right. And Detention Officer Week, really important. We have a lot of detention officers, thankless job sometimes. You just have to be a certain person to be able to do that job.
You do. And I've said this before. It's Detention Officer Week, Correctional Week around the country. And they do. That's such a tough job. Ask any cop that works the streets if they could do that job. Most of them would tell you they couldn't, because that confinement, you're in there with people that don't want to be there, that don't have a lot of respect a lot of times for the rule of law, and you trying to enforce it. So it's just a very tough job. And I'm going to say this. In 2018, the state of Arizona took away their retirement. Now, most people don't realize this. This is a good time to promote this. We tried to push the Arizona Sheriff Association. We tried to push it again this year. We weren't successful. Think about that. These guys and gals are out there putting their lives on the line in a public safety family. We consider them part of our family. And they don't have a retirement system. And there are people arguing. They argue. The biggest opponent of that, when I was told, was the County Supervisors Association that are fighting that. Now, I just have such a hard time with that. And so, again, but I don't want to drift too far on that thought, but thank you for what they do. They go out there and they just, like you said, they do it every day. I go down to the jail and talk to them. That we're having a barbecue for our guys today, and they're always got a smile on their face. They do. But it's a hard, you ask any sheriff in the country, anybody that runs a detention facility, they're hard to fill vacancies.
The Cochise County Sheriff's Charity Ride comes up in November, and we always talk about who we're giving the money to. It's usually one of 3 organizations styles. I'll let you talk about that in a minute. But right now on our Facebook page, if you're a nonprofit, you can be one of the beneficiaries and apply for that position.
Yes, and we encourage you to apply. So if you're looking, you need some funds, which I know with most nonprofits do. Take a look at that. It's a very simple form. If you have any questions, contact the Sheriff's Department, and we'll help you through that. But it's like a 2-page form. It's very simple. And then a committee comes together, and they make their selections. But it's our way of giving back to the community. It's been a very successful run. The event's actually the first Saturday in November. So we got some time, but we make our selections early because we promote that throughout the year. It's like a free marketing tool for you. So get your apps in for us.
And you usually like to say that it's for kids, vets, and animals.
That's right. Those three are always been our topic, and we've really adopted the Shop with a Cop program out of Benson, Douglas, which some we've incorporated. We have our own Shop with a Cop, and something the Sheriff's Office has really partnered with. So I'm very proud of that. So those funds cover those youth. And then we always, like you said, Grady, we like to get a veterans group of some sort, giving back. It's always been a nice return. And then animals. We like to give something to animals, make sure our animals are being taken care of.
Some exciting things going on with Cochise College now. The driving simulators are in.
Yes, I'd encourage you, if you're driving around or you're just looking for something to do, stop by the Allied Health downtown El Camino Real, the old hospital, and walk in there. It's open to the public. You can walk through there. You should walk through anyway because that's a community college. But you'll see as you walk into the left, 3 Sheriff's Tahoes have now been marked out. One service to the police department, one sheriff's department, or office, and the last one is our academy car from the police academy that we share with the college. But they're all marked out there. These are state-of-the-art, one-of-a-kind driving simulators. Long story short, every window in that Tahoe is now a TV screen. So it's like the best arcade game you'll ever find, and it's one of a kind. I was talking to this company out of Canada actually did this with us. It's a grant between Cochise College Sheriff's Office and this company, and it's really a promo, not just for Arizona, but beyond. You're going to see people come from all over the country to look at this because we're the demo set for it. But it's really cool. We're so excited. I stopped by yesterday and talked to Roberto. He's the one putting this all together. And I'm just excited that we can say that's part of what we have for training. Plus, it reduces our liability. They mapped out every road in Cochise County, if I've been told. So and we're going to have a helicopter delivered, too. A driving or a flying simulator helicopter. So even though it's parked in front of the 3 Tahoes, the person that operates the command center for it is connected all these scenarios while you're inside, and you can't see nothing but inside the Tahoe. It's really neat. So I'm excited to get it up and going.
And you were also in Austin, Texas for a meeting.
Yeah, we had our Southwest Border Texas meeting, and one of the coolest part of the trip was we got to meet with Governor Abbott, but I got to go to his office, and I stood behind his desk and took a picture and stuff. And if you haven't been to the state capitol in Austin, Texas, it's the coolest thing. It's just an historic building. They were so friendly, but they take things serious in Texas. When we walked up to the Capitol, it was me and a couple other folks. Here's this trooper with an AR, a rifle, standing in front. I'm like, expecting trouble today? But they make it well known. You come to their Capitol, you ain't going to mess with it. But, yeah, they were very gracious, very welcoming. And Governor Abbott, thank you. I know he's not listening to the show. Well, then again, maybe he is. Where, yeah, we had to go in his office, stand behind his desk, take pictures. And I go, hey, is this okay? You go ahead, And so it was really, really neat. Great experience. But if you haven't been to the Texas Capitol, take a visit there. It's pretty historic.
And you also have been a whole lot of other places. You were at the Rise concert last weekend.
Yes, the Rise concert. I want to thank Jai and all the people to put that together. It brought Cochise County together, and I had a wedding to go to too. That it was just a busy night, but I ran over there. I had the opportunity to thank everybody for coming out and welcome them. But it really did. It brought the spirits up. It was a well-attended event. I pulled into the park thinking, what's this going to be like? It was well attended, and the parking lot was full, and the opportunity just to thank everybody for coming out, but also unified this community. That's what was nice about it for all the right reasons. So thank you for the opportunity, and thanks for the invite on that.
You may have heard people talking about the Mexican wolf, and it's an issue in Cochise County that some people may have heard about, and a lot of people know a lot about. But there was a meeting about that. Tell us what happened.
Well, this has been an ongoing issue for pretty much since I took over as sheriff, the Mexican wolf, and people say, well, it's an animal, you got to leave it alone. Okay, this is not what this is about. This is about a management control of a protected species. I've sat through so many meetings, and I'm just going to say this. Watching U.S. Fish and Wildlife, and this is going to sound horrible, but the disrespect they showed the ranchers and those in that meeting was, it's almost like they did not want to be there and they did not want to listen. And that's what was most upsetting to me, listening to this, sitting back, and I'm not a rancher, I'm not a farmer, but I've heard both sides. This program, which is now being governed by Arizona Game and Fish, which I've spoken to numerous times. I mean, you hear the stories, and they're not, just opinionated stories. These are facts. When you hear a cow that's been killed by a wolf, you hear a cow or a wolf that's unchipped, that's on somebody's property, on and on. I see the problem evolving. I reach back out to U.S. Fish and Wildlife to talk to them and just try to find. First of all, try to get a hold of a person from U.S. Fish and Wildlife. Good luck to you. Yeah, and that's the first thing. Took me forever. But long story short is their statement was simple. If you harm a wolf, we arrest you. We got arrested, the ranchers down there, Sheriff. I said, don't you think there ought to be some interaction here with the ranchers and work with them instead of against them? I mean, this is their quality of life. That's how they make a living. And but it was really pretty brief shutdown, and this is the way we do it. Oh, well. That's not how you manage a program. You have to work with the people that 100-year ranchers and family members. You got to work together, and that's where I've been promoting. I say my challenge has been the federal government needs to do a better job of managing the program, and let's get this back on track, because right now it's not. And I'm trying to keep a rancher from getting in trouble. I'm trying to keep the buffer system going there, but it's been very tough on the federal side. On behalf of the Cochise Graham Cattle Growers Association, I did a cover letter and sent it back to the White House and got it in their hands. So we'll see where this goes, but it needs a lot of attention. I know some of our congressional folks here in Arizona are also working on that, trying to help, because we don't find middle ground in this, you're going to have a real bad situation in Cochise County. So again, I respect the cattle growers in this community who are legacy. It's one of our 5 C's, cattle, and Arizona. We need to protect that, but we need to be smart about the program.
And there's also some rumors going around about the jail district, that it's been settled.
It's not. They have proposed a settlement, the Board of Supervisors, within their right, but there's not even been a hearing. There's not even been a hearing on this. They have pushed this forward. A judge out of Apache County, Superior Court judge, has not even ruled or have a hearing on it, or except in the settlement. So we're still a jail district. They're proposing this, but please, let's ground it back for a minute and make sure. And that's where I've been getting hit. That's why I bring this up today. Is Sheriff, there's been a settlement? No, there's not. No, there has not been a settlement. There's a proposal by the Board of Supervisors, but there's not even been a hearing on it. So we're way in front here. So at this time, we go forward, and our job is to get a jail. Everybody agrees on that. I've been told that. That's what we're doing. I sit back with patient tongue, disciplined tongue. At the end of the day, I'm hoping that we can get this jail, because that's a quality of life issue in Cochise County that everybody agrees with. I think it's been muddied and just kind of spilled so many times. The milk has been spilled here, and people don't know what's coming on the right or left. So we got to do a better job of getting that information. But there is no settlement right now. Maybe the judge will accept that. Who knows? But at the end of the day, we're going forward. We need to have a jail.
Well, we're entering graduation season, and that includes Buena CTE.
It does. Next Wednesday, Chief Heiser from Service to PD and I will go there and present their I think it's about 30 of them, graduating from their CTE, which is Career Technical Education under the law enforcement umbrella. So every year we go over there and we recognize those students. We embrace them, and a lot of them we'll see coming into law enforcement, whether it be local, state, or federal. They'll be coming in there, and thanks to I call him Coach Keel, but Keel's the criminal justice instructor, retired juvenile probation officer. He teaches them and does a really good job. So thank you, Keel. And thanks to all our CTE programs around the county. And I want to give another shout out to, shifting gears with you, Grady, is National Bank. National Bank down there by 9092 intersection, the big intersection there. In the fact that I got a call yesterday from the manager, reference an elderly subject, went in there, was pulling out a substantial amount of money, and she questioned what was going on. This is something we've talked about in the show. He got a call that the sheriff's office, he didn't appear, needed a bunch of money, so he was supposed to get the money and then take it to a location here in Sierra Vista. And so when the bank manager went over, and this is just knowing your customers, said, "Hey, how you doing?" And the conversation erupted, and she said, "No, don't do that." And she called me and said, "Hey, this is what's going on." I said, and they wouldn't let him off the phone. Folks, if somebody calls you and they spoof those calls, so you think it's It literally shows the Cochise County Sheriff's Office if you look on it. But they keep you on the phone because they don't want you to call back because it's all a big scam. And so he came within a manager of giving up a lot of money yesterday. So kudos to National Bank and that team and that manager over there for intervening on that and stopping somebody from a fraud. And then when I got there, I talked to him. So again, be vigilant on that, folks. You get a call from the sheriff. We don't call you to say bring us money. We don't do that. There ain't law enforcement in the country, I think, that I know of would do that. They do. Shame on them with all the scams out there. The bottom line is this: call and verify and talk to a real person that you know, or legitimately you can confirm that. Our deputies will respond and even talk to you about it. Don't give up money, folks. I hear it all the time.
And another shout out you wanted to give out was for Greg at Dillard's.
Yes, Greg. We all know Greg from Dillard's. He's like iconic over there. He's been there forever. He retired. Ceremonies last Saturday. I stopped by there, and based on the Teacher of the Year award, I missed him, believe it or not. But I got there at 4, and they changed it to 5, so I missed his thing. But I wanted to give him a shout out, and I talked to him later in the next day. But long story short, Greg, thank you for your service to this community with Dillard's. Thank you to support of public safety. I mean, he's just been iconic that way. It's going to be weird to walk into Dillard's and not hear Greg. I always hear Greg before I see Greg. He's one of those loud guys, and but he's just so welcoming. So, Greg, enjoy your retirement, you and your lovely wife, and I wish you well.
Every law enforcement agency has a police officer of the year, a deputy of the year in Cochise County. So if all of those people have a deputy of the year, who would be the best one in Cochise County? We have a way to find out.
Yeah, it's called Top Cop, and that is next week.
Friday.
Next Friday, we will be having our annual Top Cop Award. So we take nominees from all the law enforcement agencies, local, state, and federal, and we recognize every nominee. It's really a cool event, and it's open to the public.
Yeah.
What time to start? 10? 10:30?
11.
11. I was getting close. So 11 o'clock at Service to PD in their auditorium, where thanks to Chief Heiser, they're going to host it for us this year. So over at Service to PD, 11 o'clock, come on over, hear the heroes of the county that wear a badge. I mean, and then after we recognize all the nominees, we at that time will recognize Cochise County's top cop. So it's pretty exciting. And also, just a side note, our special guest speaker will be my chief of staff, Tom Moline, former police chief from Sierra Vista. He's come up on 50 years in law enforcement in July, so we thought we'd give him the microphone. And so and if you know Tom is very black and white. If you listen to me this morning, he's like, why is he even talking about me, you know? But the bottom line is he deserves that 5 decades of his life. He has swore that badge for this community. He's acted, he was a police chief in Huachuca City, police chief of Sierra Vista, acting marshal in Tombstone, and probably other places he's filled the role of a chief up there. So, Tom, we appreciate you, appreciate your public safety service, but come listen to Tom talk. I have no idea what he's going to say. This might be a surprise to me, too, but either way, come listen to him talk. 11 o'clock, Service to PD, next Friday, a week from today, and we'll hit that again next Friday.
And one of the things that we want to stress, and it's come up again, is, please dial 911 if there's an emergency.
Yes.
You're not going to bother people. That's what you need to do if you need help. Also, if you can be out there and check on your friends and neighbors, maybe if you haven't seen them for a while. Tombstone Fire Department is working a case right now where they've asked for our help, all of the community's help. They are not manned 24/7, and when they were able to get back into their station and listen to the answering machine, there's an elderly male. It's a blocked number. He called 2 times asking for help, but they have no way to know who it is or where the call came from. So please, if you're thinking that you haven't seen somebody for a bit, check on them and encourage, friends, family, loved ones, especially if they're elderly and even if they're young, dial 911 if there's an emergency.
Yeah, it's, and I get those kind of calls too. And I please don't. I'm not discouraging the thought. I mean, I want people to call me if they have a problem. I'm their sheriff. But at the end of the day, is on a mercy, call 911. That's so much quicker than calling me, because I have to ask 10 questions where they can get you automated right into a system and get you somebody that en route. So please call 911. I hope, I pray that the individual in this case got a hold of somebody for medical services. Yeah, because I get in my office all the time when people call and leave a message. Sheriff, I got a problem. I hope you called. And by the time I get back with them, then I find out, some do, some don't. So please call 911 when you need it. You're not bothering us. We welcome that.
And for your safety message, we want to remind everybody that it's dry out there.
It is so dry. I mean, it's almost scary dry. We've had the fires. We've had a couple incidents here in Cochise County. Kudos to the firefighters out there doing what they need to do to keep us all safe. But let's keep them in the firehouse, not into these fires, because again, it doesn't take much to spark a fire, and then we're all scrambling to do our part. But let's keep people safe. Let's be smart with that.
Well, Sheriff Mark Daniels, we thank you for coming and talking to us today.
Thanks, Grady. Thanks, Carol. Everybody have a safe weekend. And again, if I'm missing graduations, I'm going to say this next couple of Fridays. Congratulations to all our graduates.
And Carol, who do we have coming in next?
We have Cochise County Emergency Services Director Dan Duchan.
First Watch on KWCD Country is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
Giving you an inside look to your sheriff's office. Let's go back to First Watch on KWCD.
And First Watch is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. I'm Grady Butler. With me is Carol Kappas and our next guest.
Welcome back, Cochise County, and thank you so much. Emergency Services, Dan the Man Duchan is here.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for having me. My name is Daniel Duchan. I'm the Director of Emergency Management for Cochise County.
And so we have been dealing with dry climate, and we've been dealing with fires. So tell us a little bit of what your role is when it comes to this.
Yes, thank you. That's a good question. Emergency management at the county, I joke, we're the smallest department with just 2 people, and not everybody knows what we do or where we are. The best example is during this fire season, if we do have a large wildfire, emergency management is behind the scenes. The first thing you're going to see from us, and you may not know it, is we're the ones sending those emergency alerts, hitting your cell phones, your landlines, and all those messages that are standardized to social media. They're all coming from us through that fire chief. So we're the ones sending those out through the cell phones and landlines.
And I'm sorry?
Next, behind the scenes, if any neighborhoods have to get evacuated, we'll work with the Red Cross to set up that shelter. Again, all behind the scenes, you won't see us, but we're making sure a shelter gets set up, maybe at a nearby gym, and then we're getting that message out to the public. Then if we're looking at extended road closures, we're working with our law enforcement partners to arrange that.
And one of the things I think that you wanted to stress today, and we agree, is signing up for alerts, because some people have, just been very vocal that they don't have a social media presence in their life. They don't want it, they don't like it, they don't use it. But how else are they going to get information? And so this is a really great way for them to get information.
Yes, and I thank you for that question and phrasing it like that, because I don't like social media either. But there are some merits, and when we look at how we send alerts, we try to hit every path or medium we can. And to go over those real quick, so we have cell phone alerts, which you'll see like your Amber alerts or your Silver alerts. We can send those locally here in Cochise County. Landlines, we can do what you call a reverse 911 or emergency telephone network. Well, we'll send a voicemail, a voice message that dials your phone and gives you that message. Then we can also do the emergency alert system, which, Grady, you're familiar with, where it breaks into the radio with that emergency message. It's also that scrolling banner message on TVs, and it goes to all those devices downstream. So we try to hit all of those mediums, and then we also echo that message to all the PIOs in the county to get it out as many places as possible. And Carol, as you know, the Facebook page, you don't actually have to have a Facebook account to view the Sheriff's Office Facebook page. You can still view that message. So to answer the questions you asked, yes, we use all those mediums, but it's important to sign up, because when we send these alerts, we draw a map on our system, and the alert only goes to where we've drawn the map. So we're not, sending too many alerts or bothering people or getting that alert fatigue. It's very targeted. So the problem is, if you're in town grocery shopping at work and there's a wildfire and evacuation in your neighborhood, maybe south in Hereford, you're not going to get that alert. The alerts are only going to those neighborhoods that are in immediate danger. So what you can do is you sign up in advance, and it ties your phone number to your address. So you'll get that alert even if you're anywhere where you have cell service away from your home. The other part of that is if you have grandparents or family members that maybe need some help evacuating, you can tie your cell phone to their address so that if they need help evacuating, you get noticed and then you can go help your family.
And some people have said, well, they have other apps out there, so you can just rely on those to let you know about fires, for example. But what we need to stress is AlertSense tells you a lot of different things. And one of the things when it first started that I didn't understand was a boil water alert. And I thought, who in the world would use that in Cochise County? But we had to for Wilcox, for the Bowie San Simon area. So you can check on what kind of alert you want.
Yes. And again, thank you. You gave me a good example right there. So we're always concerned about wildfires here, and sometimes it's the one that we think about first. But when we look at damage to homes and evacuations and emergency declarations in Cochise County and across the state, we actually have more damage to homes from flooding. But that brings up the example is if you use some of these apps for wildfire alerts, it's only wildfires. But we have all types of hazards here in Cochise County, from flooding, winter storms, yes, our wildfires, but also those boil water alerts. And that did happen up in Bowie San Simon several times over the last year, where a pump goes down, and then working with the state ADQ, whenever they crack open that line, it has to be re-inspected because it's potable water. So at times, depending on the test, they could have a boil water alert, and we could send alerts to that neighborhood, say, hey, everybody in this neighborhood, your water system was cracked open and they closed it, and maybe the state tested it and then something popped hot, so we have to do a boil water advisory for a day or two. So a great example. It's not a hazard or emergency you would traditionally think of, but it's very important.
And finally, the Ready, Set, Go program. So sometimes we have to issue these, but it should be something that's ready knowledge for anybody living in Cochise County. The whole program is an Arizona Sheriff's Association initiative, and so it's the three, it's like a red light, if you will, a red, green, and yellow. So make sure you understand what the Ready, Set, Go application is.
Yes. So as you said, it's standardized across the state, and we've all heard the phrase growing up, Ready, Set, Go. It starts with ready, and we should just prepare for hazards in our community, and the reality is we should always be ready. So we should take some preventive or preparation steps right now, such as one, signing up for alerts. That's the biggest thing you can do. Next, I would also recommend signing up for the Sheriff's Office Facebook page. Every time we send an alert, we're limited on characters. So it always says, for more information or updates, go to CCSO Facebook page, because we can't fit it all in those 300-odd characters. And then also make a plan of, say, we talk about the P's. What are you going to do with your pets, your prescriptions, your important paperwork, things of that nature. So have a plan. Next is set, and that says be alert where there actually is a threat in your area that you need to be monitoring. It could be a wildfire, it could be flooding from monsoons, and in that case, we don't know which way the threat's going to go. So to give everybody as much advance time as possible, we'll put a neighborhood in set status. And you may have heard that being called pre-evacuation. So if you're in set status, it would be good if you could leave to actually leave. We don't want to cause folks hardship, but the fewer people in there using those same roads as our first responders, it's just let everybody know you should be ready. Maybe if you're making plans to do something, now's not the evening for that. It's something that we're waiting and following the Facebook and media to see if that fire or flood is going to change and affect your area. And the last is go, where there is an imminent danger and you should evacuate, and it's just very simple. Go, evacuate now.
Well, let's talk about how to sign up for AlertSense then. This is where people want to pay attention. Maybe grab a pen and paper because you can write things down. If you could go there right now and sign up, it'll be awesome.
Yes, and we'll get the flyers out on Facebook as well. So the website is cochise.myfreealerts.com. You go in, you add your address and your cell phone number, answer a couple questions, and you can even select to receive extra notices from the National Weather Service. The system is tied into them. So it's coaches.myfreealerts.com. And again, that will tie your address to your cell phone, so if there's an emergency at your home while you're at work or in town, you'll still get that alert.
And do you encourage younger people to maybe help older people sign up for this? And is it pretty straightforward?
It is, but yeah, if you have someone that is a little slow with the technology, definitely help them out. It does require the two-factor authentication, so I've had to walk a few people through that, and it's, kids, help your grandparents out with this one.
Sounds good. And then you said there were flyers going out with QR codes. Tell us about that.
Yes, it's our standard flyer we put out to all the PIOs, and it has that website, but also the QR code, so you can just take the picture and go right to the link.
Cool, and we'll put that up on the Sheriff's page as well, so you can go to the Cochise County Sheriff's Facebook page if you're looking for that flyer and QR code. Well, Dan Deshawn, we thank you for coming and talking to us today and catching us up on Ready, Set, Go and AlertSense.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And Carol, who do we have coming in next?
We have Steve Boyce and Arlene Garcia.
First Watch on KWCD Country is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
Giving you an inside look to your sheriff's office. Let's go back to First Watch on KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. I'm Grady Butler. With me is Carol Kappas, and our next guest, we're going to be talking about celebrating animals. It's Arlene from Sierra Vista Animal Care and Control. Good morning.
Good morning.
So celebrating animals is tomorrow. So tell us, what is celebrating animals?
Celebrating Animals is a day that we, animal rescue and animal welfare organizations come together and just give information out to the public, put animals available for adoption, talk about our organizations. We just all come together for the sake of the animals and share it all with the community.
And this is happening tomorrow at Veterans Memorial Park.
It is. And so we're going to have, of course, the different rescues like Border Animal Rescue, Rescue Adoption Volunteers, Hearts of Gold, Douglas Animal Shelter will be out there, of course, the Sierra Vista Animal Shelter, Cochise County Humane Society will be out there. And then we have other vendors that will be selling leashes and collars, some animal-related items. There are going to be some pet readings even. I think that's going to be fun. But what's exciting is you'll also get the horses, alpacas, snakes, reptiles, all these organizations that do those type of things, like Greyhawk Nature Center, the Huachuca Area Herpetological Association will be out there with their creepy crawlies. And for the first time, we got a peacock lady coming out.
Oh.
I know. I'm pretty excited. I can't wait to see these things. So I'm crossing my fingers that everything works out, that the weather is going to be great. But what's also really different about this year's event is that we are going to have ASAVET Charities bring their mobile veterinary unit to do up to 125 rabies vaccines for $10. $10, and this is really important. Rabies is on the rise in Cochise County, and we want to make sure your pets and you are safe. So please take advantage of that.
And this is all free and open to the public, and you want everybody to come.
That's right. We're going to have some food trucks out there, so just make it a day. Bring the kids out, bring your friends, family, look at the animals, look at the demonstrations. The Greater Sierra Vista Kennel Club will be out there doing their demonstrations. Come visit Horse and Around Rescue. I mean, there's just so much to do, so much to see. If you can't adopt, you can shop. If you can't shop, just come and hang out and maybe have some food and spend a nice day at the park.
It's going to be so much fun. What time does it start?
It starts at 9 a.m. right up until 2 p.m.
All right, sounds good. And she just mentioned Horse and Around Rescue, and also in the studio, we've got Steve Boyce. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you this morning?
Doing well. So celebrating animals, this is something you get involved with every year.
For a long time. Actually, we started it off with a bunch of rescues getting together to do it. So it's been pretty awesome.
So what do you do at the Celebrating Animals?
I sit back and watch.
I love it. Yeah.
No, not really. I think the biggest thing that we do is we talk to people about our rescue. And, we talked about, all of this stuff. The vet clinic coming and giving microchips. They're doing that, too. They're also doing our water this year was donated by Truly Nolan. So Truly Nolan has helped up. I mean, they're a bug place. You don't get rid of bugs type deal. So there's a lot of that stuff. There's also going to be a DJ. Is that right?
Yes, our
so
DJ's
there's a
going to be there.
DJ coming. that's going to have his time, whatever he's doing. I have no idea what he's going to do. The other part that I see that is a great place for kids and families to come and enjoy what is going on with, Sierra Vista shelters and people that do training of dogs and training of cats and training of everything, snakes. I mean, on Jiminy Christmas, I was like, yeah, no, thanks, you can have them.
And Horse and Around Rescue, give us a little background of what that is.
Horse and Around Rescue was started in 2010. We have rescued 210 horses so far. We've adopted 116 of them out. We have 50 in our program right now. We've got 8 that are in foster care of the 50, or actually that makes 58. And we get horses, we rehab them, we do the groundwork with them, we do under saddle with them, and we adopt them into forever homes.
That's an amazing program.
It is. It's actually, I never known it was going to get this long. And it's like, oh my God, it's great. The other thing is that we're having this tax sale, and Grady was starting to talk about that. We've had people bringing us tack there was a lady that her boss died, and he said, take all my stuff before he died. He said, take all our stuff to Horse and Around Rescue for their tax sale. Okay. This lady said, well, I've got a pickup load of stuff. So we thought, oh, okay, a couple of saddles and blankets and so on. They've had 2 pickup trucks so far. There's another one coming today. There are new saddles. There are new bridles, new blankets, new stuff that I can't even imagine all the stuff. We got a 20-foot, we had to get another 20-foot container to put stuff in, as well as our barn that we have stuff in. This stuff clear to the roof.
Wow.
So it's fun. We have hay this year. There's a company that baled a bunch of native grass hay from Sonoyta area. So we've got a bunch of bales of, they're round bales of native grass hay. We got all kinds of stuff.
It's going to be good, and that's next Saturday.
That's next Saturday. Absolutely. It's from 8 to 12, and it's going to be a great day, and it's a lot of fun. And I'm amazed at the community when people die, and all of a sudden, here come this stuff. It's like, what are we going to do with all this stuff? Well, now we have our tax sale. We do twice a year, and it's been really, really beneficial to the horses, and that's what it's all about for us is taking care of the horses.
And where are you located so people can get there next Saturday?
We are 1 mile east of Coronado Memorial Road on Highway 92, east of the school. It's called Single Star Ranch is the sign that's over it. It's the Horse and Around Rescue at the Single Star Ranch. And there'll be lots of parking room. There'll be lots of stuff going on. And the sourdough lady is coming to sell sourdough bread. So, I mean, we got lots of little things coming on.
All right, and Arlene, do you have anything else to add for?
Well, actually, are you in need of any volunteers?
We got a whole bunch of them. But if they want to come out and help that day, that'd be great.
Well, I'm just curious because, another opportunity that you might have at Celebrating Animals is to talk to the different organizations and find out who needs volunteers. Like for the Sierra Vista Animal Shelter, maybe Horse and Around. I know Greyhawk Nature Center usually needs volunteers. So you might be able to talk to these different organizations and see where you might be able to contribute.
Excellent. That sounds fun.
And people's time is I mean, Horse and Around is run all by volunteers. All of us.
Yeah.
And the thing that's neat about it is that these volunteers bring more volunteers, and the volunteers bring more volunteers, and so it's really it's like a big giant family kind of like the rescue is. They're the stuff at the shelter. It's the same way. There's people that will come and walk dogs and all the rest of the things that go on at the shelter. So this community is just amazing. It's just absolutely amazing. And Grady, you make a lot of it, I can tell you, because you're out there all the time.
I try to be. I'm everywhere.
Oh, you've always been so supportive. And for those of you that love our community because of all the law enforcement, because we're surrounded, by law enforcement. It's our thing, right? Border Patrol is going to be out there with their horses, with their canine too, and so it's just going to be such a great event. I'm really excited, and I'm really happy that the weather is going to be nice considering how it was last week.
And if you've got questions about any of these animals, you got questions about snakes or goats or llamas or horses or whatever, come and ask, because there's lots of people with lots of knowledge that are out there, willing to be playing with the community. And it's fun. It's a lot of fun. A lot of work, a lot of fun.
We'll invite everybody out to the event tomorrow one more time.
All right. Please come out to Veterans Memorial Park for Celebrating Animals from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Well, Arlene and Steve, we thank you for coming and talking to us today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Grady.
First Watch on KWCD Country is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. First Watch is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. I'm Grady Butler. With me is Carol Kappas and our next guest.
Welcome back, Cochise County. And thank you so much for Christy Hirschberg being here. She's the president of the Huachuca City Lions Club. And this is the second time you've been on, and you're always full of information, so let's make this happen.
Okay, we have tomorrow at 1 o'clock, we have a purse auction and high tea. It will be at Buddy's Bar in Whetstone. We have new and gently used purses. We're very excited. We have Coach, we have Louis Vuitton, we have Dooney and Burke, Michael Kors, Anne Klein, Calvin Klein, you name it, any price range. So we hope to see everyone out there. It starts at 1 o'clock. We'll have food. We have the cucumber sandwiches. We have tea. We have pastries. So it'll be all kinds of fun.
If you haven't been to a high tea, or if you've not read about it, or seen it in a movie or something, it's just like upper crust, if you will, right?
Correct.
And so it's something to hear about that happening in the desert of Cochise County.
Right.
But I think it's going to be a great time because it gets people exposed to that, and you go all out. So all of your purses, you said you have a lot of purses.
We do. We have a lot of purses and any price range. So we're going to have an auctioneer. It'll be all kinds of, it'll be just a fun time.
And you also are going to have a hat contest.
Right. We have a ladies' hat contest, so come and wear your gaudy hats. It can be a fun hat, a gaudy hat. It doesn't make any difference. Just wear a hat.
And men,
We
make
do-
sure you go.
Yeah, yes, we do have men's wallets, but they can get a nice purse for Mother's Day. So it's a great idea.
So it's one of the ways that you can even, take your wife, go and have a good time, bring your husband, make sure that he can get in on the auction to get you a brand new purse. And all of that is a fundraiser.
Right.
And
It
it's
is.
happening at Buddy's Bar.
Yes, in Whetstone. We're just going to be like a block off the red light there.
And that's, if you haven't been there, there's signs, and it's pretty easy to find.
It is very easy to find.
Okay,
yes.
good. And all of the proceeds.
The proceeds go to the Huachuca City Whetstone area. We do go as far out as the Tombstone High School. We do eyeglasses and eye exams for everybody in Huachuca City and Whetstone who don't have insurance and don't have means to get glasses and pay for exams.
And you also have scholarships for kids for summer programs.
We do. We provided some scholarships to the Huachuca City. They'll be involved in the pool. They have crafts. They have art. They have all kinds of fun programs for the kids this summer.
And like you're not busy enough, so Saturday is going to wrap up and it's going to be a fantastic success. Sunday, you have a Mother's Day breakfast.
We do. It's $6 for all-you-can-eat pancakes. We have eggs, sausage, biscuits and gravy, potatoes and onions, fruit, juice, and coffee. And that's $6, and each mother or lady who comes in will get a nice gift.
Well, we thank you for coming and talking to us today and catching us up on what you're doing in our community, and we appreciate it.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
And Carol, who do we have coming in next?
We have Corporal Scott Borgstad, Sierra Vista Police Department.
First Watch on KWCD Country is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
Giving you an inside look to your sheriff's office. Let's go back to First Watch on KWCD.
And First Watch is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. I'm Grady Butler. With me is Carol Kappas and our next guest.
Welcome back, Cochise County, and thank you so much, Corporal Scott Borgstad. Sorry, Scotty B just hit me again. So thank you so much for being here.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. Last one for the day for you, huh?
It is. But you know what they say about the last one.
Yeah.
Save the
Okay.
best for last.
There you
Bring
go.
the last for okay.
So tell us a little bit about what you're doing.
Oh, this will be real quick. Tomorrow, over at the McDonald's off of Fry Boulevard, is Coffee with a Cop. We'll be there from 8 in the morning till 10 in the morning. We'll have some officers over there. Chief Heiser will be over there. Stop in, have a cup of coffee with us, talk to us, let us know what you think. You know, if you got something you want to talk to the chief about, he's there to listen.
And so, when you've had these events in the past, what are some of the takeaways that you've had?
Well, thanks for putting me on the spot,
Sorry.
Carol. It's just nice to reach out with the community. Honestly, 99% of what we get is extremely positive. Folks are very happy with the Sierra Vista Police Department, the Sheriff's Department. everyone is very professional. They're happy with the service that they're getting. But every once in a while, something comes up to where, we find there could be something that we could be doing better, or a suggestion by, a citizen, and that's kind of what we're after.
Well, what is the circumference of the Earth, Scott, from the equator? I wanted to do something on the spot, too. All right.
Thanks. I appreciate that. Give me a minute, and I'll get back to you on that.
You got to go Google it? Okay. I got you. So go ahead and invite everybody out to your event one more time.
All right. It'll be Coffee with a Cop, McDonald's on Fry Boulevard, tomorrow, Saturday, from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Well, thanks for coming and talking to us, Scott, and we'll hope everybody sees you tomorrow.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
And, Carol, how do they get a hold of us at the Sheriff's Office?
So reach out. You can give us a call, 520-432-9500. If you have social media, hit us up at Cochise County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Mark J. Daniels, for our Facebook page. That'll take you to our X and to our Instagram. If you want to send us an email, just shoot us one at sheriffstips@cochise.az.gov and our webpage at cochise.az.gov/sheriff.
First Watch on KWCD Country is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
You've been listening to First Watch, brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. Keep up to date. Follow the Cochise County Sheriff's Office on Facebook. And tune in next Friday, 7 a.m. for First Watch right here on KWCD.